And a look at the Hawaiian Tel Federal Credit Union starting lineups across your screen as we are getting ready to rumble here on an Aloha Friday night. First of two against the Tritons, the second match going down on Sunday afternoon. There you see Jace Olson sat out the last few sets of that match last Friday. Got a little bit banged up, but he is back, he is fine, he is healthy, and we are underway. That first serve goes to Olson. The first set goes to Taylor Averill.
And that was a very good, solid serve. And Olson just popped it up right on the money, allowing Taylor Averill to just take a rip at that one. Wow, what a start for the Rainbow Warriors.
Rip it he did. So Brooks Sador goes back to serve, and of course Sador just coming off a wonderful weekend against Penn State. And his first serve. Good pass to get that up. And able to dig it up in the back row. Colby Kanitaki, a couple of side outs to get things going. The first kill by Nick Iorfino, who averages 2.6%.
He also leads them in aces.
To Taylor Averill, and then back to Jace Olson. Just a little cross-court shot, not a lot of heat on it. Didn't need it. Points Hawaii 2-1.
Smart hit by Jace that time. He was in a little bit early. The set was a little bit wide, and he saw that the off blocker was coming up, creeping up there, so he just tapped the ball into area 4 and got the easy kill.
And so Jace Olson had a great look at his off-the-court life. If you were watching Game On, the pregame show, and talking about his move from Penn State over here and the fact that he was able to come with his girlfriend, the UH Wahine volleyball star, Ali Longo. Oh, look at the block, and look at Taylor Averill. You think he's pumped up? He's already got a big kill. He's got the roof, and Hawaii has a 3-1 advantage.
Here's Taylor Averill getting most of that, and Joby Ramos set the block perfectly on the outside. Got tangled up in the net, but remember, anytime you touch the net below the cable line, it's okay.
Jace Olson to serve again, little roll serve, and almost dropped in for the ace. Opportunity to set it up. Siki gets his first swing of the night, unsuccessful. Here come the Tritons back set, and that one is way long. As Iorfino whacks it out, and Hawaii goes up 4-1. And Chris, one of the things that Jeff Hall talked to his team about was be first to 5. After they lost that first 3-set sweep match to Long Beach.
Yeah, slow starts.
Slow start, and they preached that on Friday night. Be first to 5 in every set.
And they're almost there.
4-1 Hawaii, and Olson to serve it up. And that serve is out, so that first to 5 will have to wait at least one more serve.
I tell you, Jace had 3 good service runs there. He had hit the ball really hard on his first one, pulled the trigger on the second, got bad passes on both of them. Hawaii scored on both serves.
Scott Metzger with the serve for the Titans, and there's Brooks Sador flying out. Nice dig by Princeton. And then at the net again, there's Taylor Averill, Joby Ramos in the vicinity, and Hawaii first to 5. There it is, a 5-2 here in set 1.
Taylor Averill, for a guy who's played almost every position, and only the last one has been the middle blocker position. He's got pretty good. He's gotten to be a pretty good middle blocker.
Averill with the soft little roll serve. Good job getting over there by Metzger to keep it alive. Hawaii with an opportunity. It's Averill with the set, and there's Sador out of the back row trying to go over the high hands, looking for a touch. Not going to get it. Side out, Tritons. Never been to UCSD, just a beautiful little campus, the Blue Dome up on the hill, looking down over Mission Valley. There's Davis Holt. And I'll tell you what, when you got Davis Holt and Taylor Averill firing out of the middle spots, that makes it very tough to defend this kind of a team.
Davis Holt, who played so well at the beginning of last year, lost his spot for a while, and then lost it again at the beginning of this year, now regained it last Saturday. It was one of the heroes in set number 5 of last week's win against Long Beach State.
And Joby Ramos gets a hand on it, but that's all. Side out, point for UCSD. It'll be 4 serving 6.
Good swing by Nick Iorfino there. He got 12 kills against BYU last week. He goes up, he's got 3 blockers up, and he finds a way around them. Great shot.
Kanitake with the pass. Look at that set by Ramos. It looked like it was on its way to being an overpass. Ramos redirects it, and they get the point.
I thought for sure it was going to be an overpass, and somehow Joby climbed the ladder and got this one.
And puts it right on the spot to Sidor. It couldn't have been a prettier set. And Siki into the net. The service error, and it'll be 5 serving 7. The Tritons coming in here 0-5 overall. They are 0-4 in conference play. Interestingly, their last set out, Chris, they lost a 5-setter. Every other match they've been swept 3-zip. They haven't had a single 4-set match all season. And there's Brooks Sidor, and Sidor getting into the action early, gets his 2nd kill.
Well, last year when Brooks Sidor played against this San Diego Triton team, he got a total of 50 kills on the weekend in San Diego, so I think he likes playing against the Tritons.
It's actually been a while since the Tritons have played. Their last match out was January 16th, and that's where they fell in 5 to Baptist, and there's another move at the net by Averill, but they dropped to Cal Baptist, and talk about a tough one. Not only do they lose in 5, Chris, but they lose 20-18 in that 5th set.
And they had 3 match points themselves. That was
painful.
A tough one.
That's just painful.
Plus they lost 2 players. They lost Howard Camp, and another player had an ACL. I believe it was Jose Carlos Martinez.
You mentioned our camp. He's their leader in kills, 2.7%. One of the better servers. He's just one of their better blockers. A 6-7 opposite. He didn't even make the trip out.
Broken thumb in his non-hitting hand. Made all tournament at the Santa Barbara preseason tournament.
Brunsting to serve it. Kanitake, perfect pass. And there's Jace Olsen. The hustle as Brunsting tracks it down after the dig by Elliott Shaw. And then not a good set that time. That's one of the rare total misconnects on the point of Hawaii, because Kobe Kanitake has been so well, or has done so well lately, leading the team serving. You just don't see that very often.
And Joby Ramos that time did not hear the call by Jace Olsen. Jace called for an inside set there, and Joby set it outside.
Siki puts it up. Cross-court set. There's Olsen, and that time a little bit back on his heels. Not a good swing. And UCSD picks up a couple quick points to rally back within one. As you look at Kevin Ring in his 9th season with UC San Diego, and prior to becoming the head coach, he was an assistant coach there for quite some time. 7 years, or 9 years as an assistant before 9 years as a head.
Oh, great job by Jace Olsen that time to get out of the way. Give him credit for the point.
Little Ole move. And Hawaii leads it 10-8. Here's Brooks Sidor on serve for the Rainbow Warriors. Opportunity for Hawaii. They're going to go over the middle. No, the decoy is Averill, then flying out of the back row is Siki Zarkovic.
Well-designed, well-constructed transition play. Watch Averill go up. 2 blockers go up for San Diego, but Siki has the full open court. Hit that bit, back row quick.
Like a quarterback option play. Who are you going to defend? They chose the wrong man. And Hawaii gets the point. 11 serving 8. Sidor, another good serve. Put up by Metzger, and then put down by Fred Stahl.
Stahl goes up and just sort of soft hits one down between 2 players. He's their leading blocker with a kill per set and the leading kill percentage guy.
Hitting .412, but only 16 kills on the season. And Hawaii gets the side out. Jace Olsen back to serve it. It is 12-9 Hawaii. Back set. And a big swing that time, and a good one by Nick Iorfino. And Iorfino gets his 3rd kill on the night.
6'2" senior out of Huntington Beach. Went to Huntington Beach High School, is a Fab 50 player. One of the top 50 high school players to graduate that year.
Ramos again going for a quick set in the middle to Taylor Averill. And Averill with a good swing again. Gets another kill. That's his second. And Hawaii extends his advantage to 3.
See if Averill goes with his jumper or jump float. Kind of bounces back between the two depending on how his shoulder feels.
A little bit more heat on that one. Again, they're going to go back set. And look at Jace Olson, very, very close to digging that one up. I thought that he had it, but he didn't. And that was a good swing and another kill by Iorfino. And there is Iorfino back to serve it up for the Tritons as they pull within 11, serving 13. Sador, and Sador hammers it right past Kirill Rudenko out of Moscow, Russia.
Sador is turning out to be one of the premier opposite attackers in the league, consistently hitting for high percentage and getting crucial kills when the league called upon.
Sador keeps it alive at the net. Opportunity. Olsen. Little roll shot out of the back row. Didn't have a lot of heat on it. Opportunity for the Tritons. And going cross court and getting the kill is Scott Metzger, a 6'4", 190-pound redshirt junior out of Crestwood, Missouri.
Block well formed to go cross court. That's what you said. Some nice heat on it. Arrived very quickly.
12, serving 14. Kanetake puts it up right on the net. Ramos to Brooks Sador. He is blocked, and Hawaii will have another opportunity. Back to Sador. Dug up that time. In the back row by Metzger. Kanetake returns the favor. Sador, his third swing of this rally. Back and forth they go, and Iorfino hits it into the net. Hawaii first to 5. Hawaii first to 15, which takes us to our first media timeout. Rainbow Warriors looking good. Back at the stand, Sheriff Center. What do you say we take the keys to the match presented by Kaiser Permanente?
Well, for San Diego, who will fill the Joel role? That's Joel Auerkamp, their top player who broke his thumb against BYU. Tonight, the role is being filled mostly by Nick Iorfino. He's got 4 kills, 2 errors. He's at 286, would do a pretty nice job. And for Hawaii, 7 cylinders. That's the 6 players on the court plus the 1 libero. Hawaii is yet to have all 7 cylinders going at the same time. I think Charlie Wade would love to see all 7 clicking at the same time, especially the 3 pin hitters. He'd love to see that.
Hawaii does come out with a lot of energy tonight, and a service ace, the first of the night. Siki Zarkovic served it into the net, had a service error on his first attempt, and round 2 gets the kill. And Hawaii goes up by 4, their biggest lead of this first set so far. Siki again with a high toss, calls over the net. And no pancake dig. Mike Brunsting almost got there, but back-to-back service aces by Siki. Biggest lead now at 5.
He hits the ball so hard. If that cable is loose at all, it's going to favor his serve.
Siki again, and that rips it about 8 feet long and side out. Another quick set to Davis Holt, this time unable to put it down. Back the other way, that one's off the antenna. And Hawaii hit the point.
A pretty good serve by San Diego this time. And a perfect pass by Jace Olson, which allows Joby Ramos to run the middle and set the back row if necessary. Gives him a lot more options.
Tritons with 17 service aces to 41 for their opponents. And trying to go over and play that in front of media row over there was Kirill Rudenko, and he just ran out of real estate. And Hawaii now up by 6. So take a look at Charlie Wade there. Awfully happy after that Friday match.
As Kevin Wong said earlier in the pregame show, he said, not a bad combination, kind of a perfect storm for Hawaii, that they are a very good serving team. And San Diego's been struggling with their passing. And in fact, they got aced 15 times against BYU. Taylor Sanders had 9 aces that night last week, and so they've been struggling with their passing.
And Brooks Adore, in the meantime, picks up his 4th kill. Hawaii with a 7-point advantage here in set number 1. Back at the Stanley, here's your series record presented by Aston Hotels and Resorts. You see Hawaii with that commanding lead, but the big number really is that April match last year, Chris. That's the one that Hawaii needed to get into the MPSF tournament. They were really dead in the water. Nobody thought that they were even going to be a factor in postseason play. And lo and behold, everything kind of fell their way. They win that match, and then they almost pull off that miracle first-round upset against then number 1 BYU.
And UCSD normally plays very well at home, so that was a huge win for the Rainbow Warriors.
14 serving 20. Hawaii looking pretty comfortable here in this first set. Jace Olsen off the hands, and Olsen picks up the kill. He now has 2. And Hawaii hitting an even 300 for the match. The Tritons on the other side hitting negative, or rather, no, excuse me, they're hitting just over. They're hitting .53.
Brunsting with a pretty good left-handed hook serve there to Siki Zarkovic, and Zarkovic put it up right there where Ramos could set 4 people.
And there's Sador. Sador going right at Elliott Shaw. And Iorfino hits it wide. Now, interestingly, last week against Long Beach State in that second match on Friday night, Charlie Wade started Johan Timmer to get him a couple of more rotations serving. And that made a big difference. And tonight, at least so far, we have yet to see Timmer. Of course, he hasn't been needed as a serving specialist with this big advantage.
I think we will see that at some point this evening now.
Quick set, not very good contact. Opportunity for Hawaii. Jace Olsen, little tap shot, chased down over there by Bernstein. And then another block at the net. This time it's Jace Olsen who gets the better piece of it. And another timeout is going to be called by Kevin Ring at 23-14. So the Rainbow Warriors, again, you always kind of worry coming off of that huge match, and then a team that's been struggling minus their number 1 player, and it's one of those kind of trapdoor games that you worry about. But Hawaii seemingly not going to fall into that trap.
I'm sure that Charlie Wade reminded the team of how many big wins this San Diego program has had over the past 4 years. In fact, Iorfino, it says in the media guide for him, he said, in his volleyball life, winning at UCLA in 2011 was the high point, beating Al Skates at Poly. So the San Diego team, you never know, you know, like Scott Robbs was saying earlier, they are scrappy. They will never give up. No matter who they put on the floor, they're going to come at you with all guns firing, and so it's they're fun to watch.
We've said it a million times in the NPSF. All you need to know is on any given night.
Yep.
Here's our Jack in the Box pack. The Jack pack tonight. Getting to know the Tritons. UCSD will play. They're in the process of playing 9 of its opening 11 on the road. And their roster includes 12 new players, 11 of which are freshmen. And by the way, one of those freshmen is somebody that you know very well, or at least you know his big sister, but we'll talk about that in a moment. First, let's go to Ryan Calais.
Thanks, Sash. During the timeout, Coach Ring talking to his blockers about trying to find a way to stop Brooks Adore on the Hawaii sideline. Well, they're doing something different in the backcourt. Notice that Kobe Kanetake is actually playing in the middle back position now. Traditionally, we've seen him playing in the left back. They now have Hawaii's outside hitters playing in the left back position, and this is just to give Kanetake more opportunities to dig a ball. Back to you guys.
All righty, Ryan. Thanks. One of those 12 newcomers is Jason Wopat, the younger brother of Cindy Wopat from Stanford and 2-time ABCA first-team All-American. Iorfino. Great effort by Kanetake. Certainly.
Yeah, we may see Jackson Wopat before the night is over. I'm sure that Kevin Ring would love to have him get some action. He's only played 1 or 2 sets this whole year, so I'm sure he'd love to get him in. For
a lot of Carly over the years, though.
Yeah, we sure have. She's one great player.
Averill didn't get a real good chunk of that one. Back set, that was a really bad misconnect that time because Brooksting, the setter, just didn't really get his hand on the ball. And so now it's set point for Hawaii. And they have an opportunity to close this one out, serving 24-15. Back to do the honors is the senior, transfer out of Penn State, Chase Olson. Not a good pass that time as he went right at the freshman Ian Colbert, who shanks it out, and Hawaii in relatively easy fashion takes set number one. Final numbers 25-15. The two teams will switch up sides, and we will be back with set number two. You're watching UH Rainbow Warrior Volleyball on OC Sports.
OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Warner Cable, is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii, Kaiser Permanente, and Hawaii Honda Dealers.
Back in the Stanley, Hawaii making it look pretty easy in that first set as they win it.
Brookston picking up right where he left off last weekend when he was a key factor for Hawaii beating Long Beach State on night number 2. Tonight he's got 4 kills, mostly on the right side. He's got 1 on the left in 9 tries, hitting .333, and Hawaii's blocking has been amazing. 5 blocks to 0. Taylor Averill has been in on 4 of those blocks. Joby Ramos in on 3 of them. And you see those two working together. This time I think Chase Olson was part of that block as well. Hawaii really looking sharp with their blocking at the net. Very smooth, very tight, very together.
Kids all having fun. Little girls, Jeff Hall's daughters. And let's take a look at our mid-pack petroleum leaderboard, shall we? MPSF serving. And look down the list, and there is Brooks Sador. Taylor Sander of BYU leading the pack, but Brooks Sador certainly right up there in some pretty good company.
Well, Taylor Sander had a big jump when he played against UC San Diego and got 9 aces against the Tritons last week. So that put him up there in the lead. Hawaii's going to play Jonah Seif at Santa Barbara next week. And here's the rotation you talked about where Johan Timmer starts back right, gets an early shot at serving, and they'll get another one later on. They come out of the front row, and they'll come back in later on to sub later in the game.
And this is what Charlie Way did Friday night, and just one of the little changes that led to success against number 4, Long Beach State. So Timmer comes in, rolls it down, good serve. And there's Eeyore Fino, and there's Brooks Sador and Taylor Averill again, right there to greet him at the net.
That was a pretty good set, fast set to the outside by Brunsting. I'm surprised it got blocked. There you see a score from the MPSF. LBSU, Long Beach State, coming out and beating number 1 Pepperdine. Wow, that's going to shake up the MPSF standings.
A little bit of anger coming out of their last match here at the Stanley, but they had to work. Went 5 sets. And there's Taylor Averill again, and the Hawaii block has been on fire tonight.
Taylor Averill, boy, he's his 5th block of the night.
And Timmer, this is why they love to have him there at the service line. Johan with the high toss, another good serve, good pass this time. Set Eeyore Fino blocked again, and that's the solo roof. Mano a mano, and Brooks Sador wins that one hands down.
Fino's got a couple pretty good sets from Brunsting, taking good swings on him, but there's just been a better Hawaii block up front.
So Johan Timmer doing what he does best, and that's string together some natural points. 3 in a row to start the second set. Another great serve. Put a little extra heat on that one, and that time the hit goes past the hands.
Give some credit to Ian Colbert that time, the freshman out of Belmont, St. Ignatius College Prep. He's passed up the last 2 serves by Timmer. He popped up right on the money to Brunsting.
And Kirill Rudenko out of Moscow, Russia. Do you say Moscow or Moscow?
Moscow.
Because I was once told There's no cows in Moscow. Another good rally. We've had a couple of good ones tonight. Back set to Sador ends it though.
But how many times have we seen him end rallies in a hurry with that big swing of his? He's got so much velocity in his attack. Such a quick arm swing. Reaches pretty high. When he hits low, though, is when he gets into trouble. Of late, he's been hitting very high and hard.
With 4 service aces, 4 errors as well. Off the top of the cable, tough pass. High hands, keep it alive. Kobe Kanetake, a little acrobatic move, and then Olsen with the roll shot, but he is blocked that time by Ian Colbert.
Good news for Hawaii there was the great dig, and the ball kept alive by Konatake. The bad news is there's only one player that Ramos could set. Here's the ball off Taylor Averill's head.
Base, yeah.
Nice place by Kobatake, but see, San Diego knows right where the ball is going to go because that's the only place that can be set. So Jace Olsen is faced with 6 hands across. Tough play.
Back to serve it. Going to be Fred Stahl, junior out of Sunnyvale, California. Olsen pops it up. Going to go back to Olsen. Tough angle. It's all he had because he was kind of out there outside the antenna. Kanetake pops it up. Back set Sador, who winds up and hits it long. Had a good set.
As a coach, I would rather see Brooks Sador do a few of those that go 6 inches to a foot long and hit it low into the tape or into a low seam into the block.
Averill got a good set, try to put it straight down. Put back up, they go to Averill again. That was, about 75, 80 degrees. Almost straight down, not quite, but pretty steep angle here.
He knows exactly where the block is. He turns, see how he turns his shoulders there when he sees where the block is. The block was taking his away shot, so he cuts it back.
Pass put up by Colbert. They go back to Colbert. Here's block. Back to Colbert again, and this time hits it wide. Knew that he had to go high and over the hands of the block. As a result, hits it out.
White now with 8 blocks. San Diego's 1.
Another block, but this time out. Siki and Averill were there to greet the swing, but turned it in a little bit too much. And the side out point for the Tritons, who now are within 2, 4 serving 6. Iorfino back to serve it up. Olsen with the pass. Averill again flying out of the middle, and Taylor Averill gets kill number 4 on the night.
And the second one-handed set by Joby Ramos, former Roosevelt star, and also went to University of Pacific. There's the one-hander.
Averill feeling a little bit more comfortable with the serve, really winding up, and not a good pass. And so a free ball for Hawaii. What do they do with it? They give it to Siki.
That was the set that Jace Olsen called for earlier tonight. And Ramos didn't hear it. And this time Siki does yell loud enough.
Visit Big Island Candy's flagship in Hilo and now open at Ala Moana Center, mall level, Macy's Wing.
There's Colby Kanetake's mom kind of over there in the crowd of Colby faces. Personal little fan club over there. Not far from where the Cheap family, Matthew Cheap's family, kind of was in that same neighborhood last year. I guess that's the seating area for Libero families, right? Averill floats it over. Colbert keeps it alive. They go back to Colbert. He's getting a lot of attempts for a 6'1" guy. Siki with a little roll shot. There's Colbert to keep it alive. He's in the midst of all the action. Iorfino out of the back row. And the quick set, Davis Holt finishes it off, and Holt gets his second kill.
Boy, looking pretty good in transition. That's a set that Colby Kanetake likes to set to Davis Holt, the 31. The quick set fired about 3 feet above the net. or maybe even higher, so that Davis Holt can get up there and dodge a middle blocker.
Hawaii out to its biggest lead here in the second set, up by 5. That one-handed dig by Averill. Just threw a pop there and just knocked it straight up in the air. And here they go to Colbert yet again. Didn't get a lot on it, so it's for Hawaii. They're going to go across court. Siki off the high hands. Ball put up. Who's got it? Diving in there and saving it is Rudenko. And Hawaii gets the point. Now you can see the frustration on the face of the 9-year coach, Kevin Ring. There's nothing really working well for his team as Hawaii jumps out to a 6-point advantage.
Ring's defense, he's dealt a pretty big curveball by having his top point getter out with a broken thumb.
John Howcap didn't even make the trip. Siki up in the back row by Iorfino, chased down by Brunsting, and then what a tough angle. Oh my, how did Ian Colbert get that ball over the net for a winner, no less?
It was a pretty mean angle, wasn't it? Davis Holt, I thought, did the right thing by trying to hit it down. He's got a little anxious, hit it too low, but not a bad play.
Yeah, it's a terrific play by Ian Colbert. It'll be 5 serving 10. By the way, talking about broken fingers and players not playing, Nick West for Hawaii still has that broken pinky on his non-hitting hand. His left hand, he's just still wearing the splint, and he is inactive again this weekend. Talked to him about it. He's frustrated. He wants to play, but he says, you know, I'm not going to go out there and risk it until I'm ready to get back, and I know I'm not going to make it worse.
Nice little back dump by Joby Ramos. Sort of rattled it through the block.
Ramos, a little heat on that serve, and it goes long.
Well, when you're up 11-5, you can take some chances. Looks like Joby did just that. Put a little more mustard on it.
So it'll be 6 serving 11. Back to do the honors is Matthew Schnitzer. And he returns the favor.
I don't know why he was aiming for Jace Olsen. Like Jace Olsen has been perfect passing tonight. I don't think he's missed one yet. So the kill percentage, San Diego hitting negative .053. They've got more errors than kills.
And unable to dig that one up is Siki. Good swing that time by Rudenko. Seven serving 12. And back to serve it up again is going to be Mike Preston, the setter. And the lefty serves it right into the net. Tritons can't afford to just go playing a side-out game. Not at this point. Trailing by 6, and Davis Holt to serve it up for Hawaii. And the quick set. Fred Stahl, and that ball kind of stalls in midair and doesn't make it over the net.
Last year, Stahl, the number 12 MPSF blocker. This year, he's got 1 block per set, which is a good number.
Coming to you, Brook.
And Holt again. Trickles it over the twine. And Iorfino blocked by Averill. Another opportunity. They're going to go back to Iorfino. Joby Ramos puts it down. And look at that.
There's a play you don't see very often. That's Joby Ramos was just trying to protect himself, and he gets a dig kill out of it.
How good is that? That ball just came flying at him. Self-defense. And Hawaii looking good. Back here at the Stan Sheriff Center, inside the numbers we go, courtesy of Burger King, the number 69.2%. That is Hawaii's winning percentage in the MPSF in the Stan Sheriff Center. They are 139-62. Always fun to play at home. Davis Holt once again on serve for Hawaii. And they're going to back set it that time nicely to Rudenko.
That was a quality swing down the line. That block was definitely taking his cross court. He had only so much room to work with down the line, and he hit it perfectly.
Rudenko again out of Moscow. We're not talking Idaho.
4 kills, 4 errors, hitting 0 right now.
And that serve is in. Chase Olson took a chance, let it go over his head, ducked underneath it. And you can take those chances again with a nice lead.
I think it wasn't a bad idea. When it's about your chest high and it's going hard, it's probably going to go out most of the time. Perfect pass by Jace that time.
And there's Averill, kind of turn it in, taking a pretty good angle. And another unstoppable swing. And coming into the match for the University of Hawaii.
Ian McKellar.
Ian McKellar. Again, I got to check my roster because they are still missing their regular uniforms, believe it or not. Hawaii waiting for it, and so a couple of number changes.
McKellar was 25 and now he's 4.
Right. Brooks the door, trying to keep it alive, unable to do so. And a point. That time it is courtesy of Ganesh Eli. And there's Ganesh going back to serve it up. He's a redshirt freshman, 6'7" he is, out of Sunnyvale, California. So an opportunity for Kevin Ring also to get a couple of players into the match, get a little bit of experience here in front of the big arena in the crowd. Iorfino has a real tough angle. Not a good set that time by Brunsting. Iorfino really didn't have much to work with. So Jace Olson back to serve it up for the Rainbow Warriors. Rolls it over. The set's going to go back to Ian Colbert. I think it might have been deflected because Olson looked like he was caught a little bit off guard. I think somebody up on the net may have just deflected it a little bit offline.
A net violation actually on.
Okay, that's why he stopped.
On Taylor Averill, right.
He heard a whistle. I wasn't sure what it was, but he kind of looked like he just hesitated, and that's why. And Taylor Averill, no hesitation there. That is now 6 kills for Taylor Averill, and the Hawaii middle is leading the way with kills. Brooks Sador has 5, Zarkovich has 3. When's the last time a Hawaii middle has been the leading hitter?
That doesn't happen very often on any team.
Colbert off the high hands. Jace Olson pops it up. Back set. And the lefty out of Macclesfield, England, puts it down. I'll tell you what, the few times that we've seen Ian McKellar get into the match, he's performed admirably.
He might have been the most improved player from last year. Worked really hard over the summer to get stronger. Last year he just worked every day in the gym. He was getting better and better. Now the fruits of his labor are now coming out.
Iorfino tries to go around the block. Dug up back there nicely. The Franciscovich, and then the booming swing again. And a timeout called. So Franciscovich. Jennings also in there. And Hawaii at 20-11. Timeout by Kevin Ring. And what do you say we take a moment to see how it works? Presented by Central Pacific Bank. This takes us back to the first set and a beautiful play.
That's happened early in the match. Watch. We're gonna watch as Hawaii's gonna run a bick out of the back row, and there we see the off plays. It comes in transition. Averill goes hard, but when 2 San Diego blockers go up, which leaves a wide open court for Siki Zarkovich. We'll take another look at an angle here. There's a serve by Brooks Sador that gets San Diego in trouble. Watch the 2 blockers go up 20-23, and here comes Zarkovich out of the back row, right on top of his middle attacker. That's a play run to perfection. And I'm sure Siki would love to see that every time. But unfortunately, not every team commits both players like that. Usually it's one of the 2 players will commit and the other one won't.
So Hawaii looking good, and a reminder, University of Hawaii Athletics reaches out to you online each week with updates and promotions through its HMail e-newsletter. To register, simply visit hawaiiathletics.com, click on the HMail button. It's simple, and best of all, it's free.
For those who are following the MPSF standings, by the way, already there's been an upset tonight. Pepperdine losing to Long Beach State at the Pyramid. That's a huge win for Long Beach State and a big loss for Pepperdine. They were ranked #1 in the country. I think there's going to be a different #1 team every week for about 6 or 7 weeks until things settle down.
Exactly.
And SC was losing earlier 2-1 to Northridge. I'm not sure how they're doing now, but they were down 2-1. And SC was the other undefeated team in the league.
So Long Beach #1.
Stanford was #1.
Stanford, right?
Pepperdine.
Taylor Averill serving for Hawaii. They're going to go back to the 6-1 hit. There's a net violation. That's going to be for the Tritons as somebody in white.
Ian McKellar, who played on the English junior national team from 09 to 12. So he's had some international experience. Has really come into his own here in Honolulu.
Ian Colbert once again into the net. Colbert plays pretty big for a guy who's listed as 6'1" on the roster, and they've been going to him often tonight.
He came in, I think, for a lot for passing reasons as well, and settled down the passing formation. But again, Kevin Ring has thrown a huge curveball when his star player, Joel Auerkamp, went down with a broken thumb against BYU last week.
Ramos, good serve, dug up, or the pass rather, by Rudenko, and then Rudenko hits it, going for that far corner. A little bit too much juice on it. And Hawaii leads it by 10, 22-12. The numbers indicated it may be somewhat of a lopsided match coming in, but you never take it for granted. And Hawaii has come out, and they have played hard. Colby Kanetake, nice dig, and then Davis Holt, dug up by Colbert. By Sador and Davis Holt. Again, they go right back to Rudenko, and it's the same duo, Holt and Sador with the rejection.
You mentioned that the Hawaii was up by 10. Here we'll take a look at the block real quick. These two forehands across, well set, good penetration over the net. When Hawaii was up by 10, I noticed Jace Olson, who's the floor captain, started talking more rather than just sort of lay back and have this 10-point lead and rest on it. Instead, he's up there telling the players, hey, we got to get going and stay serious here and keep our concentration.
And a good hustle play by Tritons as Hawaii tried to put it down on the overpass unsuccessfully. They find success again in the middle, however, and the middle has been firing. Hawaii on a 4-point run, and talking about the middles, Taylor Averill with 6. Davis Holt now after that swing with 9, or with 6, rather, excuse me, 3 kills, so that's 9 total out of the middle position. And Joby Ramos to serve it up again for Hawaii this time, into the net on set point, so it'll be 13 serving 24, and Hawaii on the verge of cruising into the locker room with an easy 2-0 advantage.
You know, if you get 10 to 15% of your kills from your middles, it's a pretty good night. But to get 40%, that's like dreamland.
Hawaii with the chance to end it right here. And Siki just kind of forces it down, throws it for the kill, and Hawaii wins the second set 25-13. The Rainbow Warriors make it look easy. We're going to take an intermission. We're going to join Ryan Kalei-Suji, Kevin Wong, and Scott Robb. Stick around, everybody. Much more to come from the Stan Sheriff Center. All right, back at the Stan Sheriff Center, taking a look at the McDonald's match stats. Obviously, a little bit on the lopsided side tonight.
You know, match stats just about as lopsided as the scores. Look at those errors. San Diego with 15 errors to Hawaii's 6. Hawaii hitting 367. San Diego hitting, 0-0-0. That's 15 kills, 15 errors, and blocks 9-2. One of Hawaii's best blocking nights of the year. Digs about even, and then aces and errors, 4-1 there. Not that much difference.
You know, Chris, we talk all the time about the MPSF, the best teams in the nation in this conference. There are no gimmies out there. Kind of nice after Long Beach State to see the Warriors, the Rainbow Warriors, have a night like this where they could be loosey-goosey, a lot of smiles. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I agree, and I would like to see some more players get in, as our side set just mentioned, get some other players some action who've been working hard in practice. This may be a great opportunity for them to get some valuable minutes.
Look at Charlie Wade. Charlie even smiling tonight, and why not? And I do kind of think that we're going to see some extra players, though, as you look at the floor right now. It's pretty much that starting format with the exception of Scott Hartley in there, the junior out of Encinitas, California. So nice to see Scott Hartley, a guy who's worked so hard and has certainly paid his dues with countless hours of support time in there.
The set distribution pretty good for Hawaii in the set attacks. Taylor Averill leading the way with 6. Brooks Sonora's got 5 kills. Siki's got 4. Davis Holt with 3. Jay Solson with 2. McKellar with 2. And Joey Ramos with 2, including 1 big kill. And there's Jackson Wopat in the middle. Eric Barber's going to play some as well. Eric Barber, a redshirt sophomore from Santa Monica.
Talked about
so it
Jackson.
Looks like Kevin Ring's going to give a few more players on his side a chance to play.
Talked about Jackson Wopat, one of 12 new players to the program, 11 of which are freshmen.
And I think he took 5 of them on this trip.
Garrett Dempsey serving it up, and not a great way to start things off for Dempsey.
Dempsey's taking the place of Iorfino. He'll be setting this third set.
Brooks Sonoran having himself just a nice little match tonight. Although he's had a couple of service errors, but that's always typical of him because he serves it so hard, and there's another one. And Nick Iorfino back in there to serve it. Kanetake, nice job getting under that one, putting it up. Hartley, not a lot of heat on that ball. And then back the other way. Taylor Averill. He's having a ball. I did notice he had what looked to be not an ice pack, but more of a heat pack on his shoulder at the end of that intermission, just trying to keep that shoulder nice and loose and warm.
Yeah, that's the one that he had surgery on, so
right.
he's very careful to rehab that and take care of it, keep the inflammation down.
Back set it, going right at Hartley is Eric Barber. And Barber is a redshirt sophomore out of Santa Monica, California. Gets credit for the kill there. And a good look at Barber right there. And this is Jackson Wopat, as we mentioned. The younger brother, the former All-American out of Stanford, Carly Wopat. And good hustle play, but unable to keep it in there is Zarevich. And the Tritons jump out to a 3-2 advantage. Now you want to let the newcomers, or not so much newcomers, but some of the other guys have an opportunity to get into the match. But you don't want to risk having it go to 4 sets unnecessarily if you can end it in 3, do you?
Yeah, that's correct. And the other thing is, Howard, that Hawaii doesn't have a whole lot of film on the new guys. They've only played, like Wopat there, I think he's only played 1 or 2 sets all year. Same thing with, well, Dempsey's played a little bit more. Iorfino's one that's played quite a bit, but the rest have not played that much.
Free ball for Hawaii. Ramos gonna back set it to Brooks Sonoran, and Sonoran hammers it down, and that is kill number 6 for him.
Nice dig by Hartley, put it right to Ramos, and Ramos delivers another back set to Brooks Sonoran.
And Sonoran making that face. Good one to Eric Barber, and Barber comes in and gets his 2nd kill here off the bench.
Nice swing, really good swing down the line.
And Barber into the net. So Hawaii goes back up. It'll be 5 serving 4. Joby Ramos back to serve. Hawaii easily taking the first 2 sets if you're just dialing on by. Hawaii winning 25-15, 25-13. And Ramos going right at Ian Colbert, and there's Colbert flying in. Ramos keeps it alive, and Sador doing what he can, but unable to bring it back into the court. And we are tied up again at 5. Another bad serve. A lot of service errors on the part.
3 of their first 4 serves into the net.
9 service errors already in the match. For UCSD, Hawaii has had 7 miscues, but they've had a little bit more breathing room as well. Siki comes in. Good play to cover it up, and then the illegal back row attack going to be called on Santa Barbara.
San Diego. That was
San Diego, excuse me. As you look at Kevin Ring in his 9th season. Well, I tell you what, it's tough to be a coach in this conference. He comes into this match 66 and 169 losses overall. He was the 2009 MPSF Coach of the Year, however. Actually got a start on it with the UCSD men's volleyball team as a team manager back in 1989. Went on to earn a spot, played, and here he is, the head coach all these years later.
Also does a lot of work with USA Volleyball. I believe he went to Barcelona and was a consultant there.
Also went to the Atlanta games in 1996. And you mentioned Barcelona, and the 1992 women's squad left Spain with a bronze medal.
Hawaii with a rotation error.
So tied now at 7, tied for the 5th time in this set. And there's a back row slam. Siki Zarkovic just came flying in from the back row, hammered that one down. And Siki gets another one in the kill column.
This is a back row quick set to a different spot on the court. Instead of setting in front of the setter sets behind himself, and very often we'll find an open court for their attack.
4 kills now for Siki. Iorfino stopped Ramos again to Taylor Averill, and Averill having a field day out there with 7 kills now. He continues to lead the team. He's one up on Brooks Sador.
And yet to make an error. He's just jumping higher than he has before. He's lost some weight. He's just more fit. His shoulder feels better.
That ball is hit out. And another point for Hawaii as Jackson Wopat puts a little bit of heat on it. Hawaii out to its biggest lead here in this 3rd set, up by 3. And Davis Holt once again to serve it up for the University of Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. That one is into the net. 2 teams will go at it once again on Sunday. Garrett Dempsey floats it over, and there's Averill, and that's going to be his first mistake of the night.
He can now take his cape off and become human like the rest of us.
It was a little bit of a tight set, didn't have a lot, never was able to get any extension on it. Tried to kind of force it over. Didn't have a good swing. They go past Averill. That's the 2nd time they've used Averill as the decoy, and then that big set to Brooks Sador.
Solid play. They go with Averill. He's had such a good. The blocker goes up. There's Siki out of the back row, flying.
And Sador back to serve it up for the Rainbow Warriors now. Back up by 2. And Sador hits it into the net.
You know, when men's volleyball switched over to 25 points, and they switched over to the serve, they shortened up the game, and then the serve became one where there'd be more of a penalty. I really thought that the service errors would go down, but instead they've stayed about the same, unfortunately. Teams still want to take chances from behind that line.
Siki with the big kill on the last one, and there's Taylor Averill on the overpass, and Averill now with 8 kills. 8 kills, hitting .636. Siki, by the way, 7 kills, hitting .636. And Hawaii's a team up over 400 for the match, not just this set. And that ball is out, another point for Hawaii. And they start to build up a little bit of a lead and create that separation here in set number 3. Scott Hartley will be back to serve it up for the Rainbow Warriors. 6'5" junior, and Hartley floats it over, goes right at Ian Colbert in the set. Not to Colbert this time, free ball for Hawaii. There's Sador with the hammer. And Hawaii, first to 15. We take a timeout with Hawaii on a 4-point run. Back at the Stanley, here's what lies ahead for the University of Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. The American Savings Bank upcoming schedule, as I mentioned a moment ago, UC San Diego back in the house here Sunday. Then it's out on the road in 4 straight. They'll come home between those matches, I imagine, Chris, right?
Yeah, I don't think they'll stay up there for a whole
6
week.
days, yeah. Good swing that time by Ian Colbert off the hands of Taylor Averill. And a point.
Colbert did something there that not many Triton attackers have been able to do, is beat the Ramos-Averill block tonight. Those two guys have been pretty amazing up front. Hawaii with 10 blocks altogether. San Diego with 1.
Jackson Wolpatz served it into the net last time and does it again this time. So the freshman struggling from the service line. And he'll head back over there and have a seat on the bench. And think about it. 16-11. Averill back to serve it. Hawaii with pretty much all the starters in there with the exception of the fact that Scott Hartley is in there. Siki going to put it up, and Brooks Sador just 2 hands it over. So an opportunity for the Tritons. Kind of a funny slingshot hit. Ball's off the antenna. That's going to be a point. What a weird little motion that was, wasn't it, by Iorfino? He just kind of rolled his
shot.
Yeah, it was just a strange.
And Siki commits his first error of the night. Still hitting 500.
Siki goes right to that empty seam, right down the center of the court.
Once again, the middle attack being honored. Middle attacker commits, goes up, middle blocker goes with him. And here's Siki all alone on the outside with only 1 blocker.
Off the high hands, Hartley pops it up. Ramos with the back set to Sador. Ricochets. Off Colbert, off Barber, point Hawaii.
Good pass up there by Scotty Hartley.
And a timeout called by Kevin Ring with Hawaii rolling in the 3rd set, up by 6. Well, here's our Fujitsu air conditioning cool play of the match. And Siki just winding up, and that was the one that just kind of, it trickled right over the top of the cable, and it fell so nicely. And that, at the time, was his 2nd service ace in a row. And I'll tell you what, it's nice to have a Fujitsu, but you don't need it in Hawaii this week, do you?
Oh, it's been cool.
It has been. Every play's a cool play. There's the back set to Barber. And Barber puts it down for the winner in front of Colby County.
But it gets low 60s for us. We say it's 2 blanket weather. Who are we to complain when it's minus 15 in Minneapolis? Come on.
Oh, no, I'm not complaining. I love this weather. It's like a California spring day. And here's those scores we were talking about earlier at BYU. Comes back and they beat Stanford in 4 sets. There's a little joust at the net. The Tritons have an opportunity. Flying in on the back row, but hitting it out and long is Ian Coleman.
Look at that next score. So
wow.
SC beaten by Northridge. SC was undefeated. Pepperdine was undefeated. The 2 top dogs go down tonight. Boy, that turns the MPSF upside down.
And Siki to serve it for Hawaii as they're looking to get that 20th point. And they do on the service ace.
His 3rd ace of the night.
By the way, Hendrik Moll out of Sand, Norway, into the match for the University of Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Siki again to serve it. Fires it right down the middle of the court. Kamitake with the pass and the overpass that time. That's going to be a violation of the Tritons and a point Hawaii.
It was the back row attacker who stepped on the 3-meter line. That was the violator, not that little tap down by Ganesh.
Yeah, Ganesh was right there with the overpass.
Yeah, that was not illegal at all. It was the attacker on the D ball.
And so 21-13 now. Hawaii. And Siki. Change up of the serve. Unable to dig that one up. Siki did his best. Side out. Point for the Tritons. So Hawaii, as we said earlier, not a lot of easy nights at the office when you play volleyball in the MPSF, but tonight seemingly will be just that for Hawaii. They'll get a day off tomorrow, a day off from playing, probably not from practicing. And Griffin Galvin, a freshman out of Folsom, California, will be serving it up for UCSD. Hendrik Moll, 6'6" freshman opposite out of Norway, getting his first kill of the night. Of course, we saw the ladies from UC San Diego come in here and play the Wahine and beat the Wahine at the beginning of the season, right? And they had Sierra Olivado, the libero.
That was USD.
Or USD, that's right. It was University of San Diego. Sierra Olivado had a fantastic game, though, didn't she? Against the Wahine.
They had a great year. Got to the round of 32, the round of 16.
I think Sierra had 25 digs in that match, if I recall. And Eeyore Fino, that time, hitting it off the block of Averill, and it ricochets about 5 rows into the stands. So another kill for Eeyore Fino, who has 7 to lead all hitters for San Diego. Garrett Dempsey serving it. And there's Siki flying out of the back row. 3rd time he's come flying in and managed to put down the kill. And Hawaii now just 3 points away from making easy work out of the Tritons tonight. And Nefre Thomas looking like he was ready, waiting, and wanting to check in. Charlie Wade going to come over and have a quick little conversation.
Siki touched the 3-meter line on that last attack. That's how UCSD got their point.
Similar to the violation that was called on the Tritons a moment ago.
Exactly.
And Garrett Dempsey to serve it up again. And that one, the antenna. So now, Anefre, or Frey, into the match. Probably one of the most gracious, nice gentlemen you'll ever want to meet, isn't he?
Yeah, one of the most popular players in the team. And Taylor Averill gets a big round of applause as well when he comes out.
And Hendrik Moll, who's played some valuable minutes for this team against Long Beach, and even before that, Point UCSD, it'll be 17. Serving 23.
So the only starters in right now are Ramos, Siki, and Kanatake.
Good get by Ramos, and Siki thought it came flying in there, and I think that's his only mistake, flying in out of the back row tonight. And it's 18, serving 23, Iorfino. Back for the Tritons. Siki puts it up, they're gonna go the far side, Hartley off the high hands. And that ball is hit out by Jackson Wopat. And Hawaii is at set point. So the crowd, or match point, excuse me, Hawaii rises to their feet. And the Rainbow Warriors are gonna walk away with a 3-set sweep tonight. But not yet.
I think Hartley wants to play some more. What do you think?
Why not, right? Siki still has a game face on. And there's Wopat set to serve it. He hasn't served well tonight. Got that one over. And there is Mole, and that one is just long. So we go to set point number 3. Still a lot of breathing room here. It's 24-20.
In the old days of side-out volleyball, the fans have been standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down.
Right. Don't want to let it get too close here, though. And there's Siki, and Siki is roofed. And that was one of the best defensive plays in the net. Ganesh Ellie.
He wasn't fooled at all here. Takes Siki's cross court. He knows how to celebrate, too.
And with their backs against the wall, the Tritons reel off 3 natural points. And it ends on a service error. As I said, Wopat did not have a good night serving. And in that situation, you just wonder, why can't you just get it over the net? But he doesn't.
He got 3 natural. He got 3 natural points.
He did indeed. So he made it a little bit interesting down the stretch, but Hawaii wins in pretty dominating fashion tonight. They look pretty good in the process. There you see the final numbers, 25-15, 13-21. And it's nice to see after that big Long Beach State couple of matches that there was no letdown, Chris.
Yeah, it was a big week for Hawaii in the gym. They wanted to get back to business and take the momentum they got from that Long Beach State night number 2 win and carry it right into this week because it's, the San Diego team is known to be the upsetters. They are the Davids of the Goliath League. So Hawaii was not going to take them for granted. A couple of years ago, San Diego swept Hawaii at San Diego. So it's a team that you never want to take for granted. You want to always respect them and know that it's just another night in the NPSF.
And the team all huddled out there on the court, and congratulations. A lot of smiles, and a lot of guys had an opportunity. Kupona Fei, who played so admirably against Long Beach State, interestingly, did not get into the match tonight. So it's just the way it goes, right? You got to
He'll get in on Sunday. Men's volleyball, you only get 6 substitutions.
Right.
It's not like women's volleyball where you get 15. So it's tough to get everybody in. So my guess is that Charlie will reward some other players on Sunday when he gets the chance.
Probably so. Speaking of head coach Charlie Wade, standing by right now with our Scott Robbs.
Thanks, Dash. Sometimes the matches you're supposed to win are the hardest. That wasn't the case tonight. You guys played very well.
Yeah, we did. Had a nice week of practice, kind of building off the performance last Friday night against Long Beach, so pretty happy with the way things went tonight. We played them last year at the end of the year, and it was a 5-game barn burner, so with a lot of the same guys on the floor for both sides, so we're really fortunate to get the win tonight.
Middles played very well, particularly Averill opening up your pin hitters.
Well, we know that's going to be a strength of ours, and Taylor's, not only did he hit well, which he blocked really well tonight too, so, that's going to be a strength of ours all year, and it's great to see Taylor get off to a good start.
Get a break tomorrow, back at it on Sunday. If the match is going similar to what it did tonight, we'll see more guys off the bench.
Well, you hope to. You never get like the mythical 10-point lead, but we're pretty much in control most of the night tonight, so it was good. I want to give a shout out to everybody that came out on Sunday night here. We had our annual fundraising event. It was a great night. A lot of people, 300 plus in the house, and just want to thanks to everybody that contributed to that.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Aloha.
Back to you guys, Dash.
All righty, Scott, thank you very much. It was a fun night here at the Stan Sheriff Center, and always good to see the guys kind of in a role other than volleyball players. Here's our Bank of Hawaii players of the match. It is Mick Iorfina with 8 kills, 3 digs, and a block, and no surprise here, Taylor Averill with 8 kills, hit .636 on the night, also 7 blocks. In the end, he did lead the team in hitting. Siki ended up with 9 kills, but percentage-wise, well, it was a pretty solid night for Taylor Averill. And Chris, just a very solid night all the way around for the University of Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, too, that Dave Holt played as well. So the middles for Hawaii really coming through, really building some good, nice connections with Joby Ramos, and so a lot of good things happening for Charlie Way's team right now. And remember, on Sunday we will not be here televising it, so people are going to have to come out and watch it live.
That's right. Support the Rainbow Warriors. And again, if you haven't been here for a while, I talked to some other folks that were here. They said, man, we got to come more often. I didn't realize how much fun it was. Most of the fun happens during the timeouts, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We don't televise the timeouts.
We don't. But the match, pretty good too. You'll get your money's worth either way. Thanks for watching, everybody. Always a pleasure, Chris.
All right, Dash. Thank you.
Stick around, everybody. Hawaii wins 0-3, but much more to come. It's the post-game show coming up next, right here on OC Sports.